Today we have what is probably the first and last sort of lost Dono episode. It's not really a whole episode, but real quick what happened is in May of 2018 I made a beer, which I don't really have to talk about right now because you can see those clips coming up, and I packaged it I think around September 2019. It was one of those beers that you let sit. It sat in the primary fermenter for over a year. I packaged it, I bottled it, and then somewhere in the process, my camera died, completely died, so I got a different camera. The types of videos that the new camera made, I could not easily merge with the old ones. So I've just kept these 3 clips. That's all it is. It's not very long. That you'll see for 2 years now, 2 years plus, and we're going to drink this beer and we'll talk about it and we'll do a little tasting. But you know, first, enjoy the vintage footage. Oh yeah, it's that time of year, hockey playoffs. I do get into the hockey playoffs, but I also get into the brewing. So what we're doing today is making a basically pale golden type wort, and we can look at the statistics here quickly. What we got going on is nothing fancy. We got, it is going to say 1 pound pale wheat, 1 pound white wheat. That's just because they were out of just pale wheat. Otherwise I would have just done 2 pounds of pale wheat, 6 pounds of pills, half a pound of flaked oats, half a pound of Vienna. Hopefully come in somewhere around 1040-ish. A little bit of hops that are old. They're from 2015, it's now 2018. I'm going for around 1 IBU. That's what it says, 1.00I, and then there's a BU somewhere. But anyway, that's like not really necessary probably, but people say with these types of beers, like any IBUs may inhibit the lactobacillus. If you don't have any hops whatsoever, sometimes you get unwanted developments of flavors. And what I am using is this Sour Batch Kidz from Imperial Yeast. This is a blend. I don't know if it says it on here, but I can just go from memory. It is a Saison yeast. It is 2 different kinds of Brett, which I don't know if you can actually figure that out or not, and it is also lactobacillus. So it's a lot of stuff. I'm just going to pitch it. I'm not doing a starter. I don't know if I'm going to overly aerate, other than I might do the whirlpool thing and siphon so it's as clean of a wort as possible, because I'm going to leave it probably in the primary for a long time, so I figure that might be a good idea. Temperature range 68 to 76, which is kind of good because some of this stuff likes warmer temperatures, and now I'm getting into that time of year. It's 80 plus outside now, so I can probably move the thing around in my house to find a warm temperature for it. It's going to take a long time. This intro video, if I keep this intro video around long enough, is May. I don't have the date going on right now. I got my stopwatch. I got to get, it's almost an hour time to do the wort here in a sec. But it's like May 18th, let's say. It is May 18th, as a matter of fact. Anyway, I don't know when we'll be drinking this. It'll be interesting to see. So I'll be doing the brew day tomorrow. We'll see how the gravity comes in. Hopefully everything will go well. We'll pitch this thing and we'll get this thing off and we will revisit it down the road. So it came in about 10:43. I just pitched the yeast. I also did a second whirlpool attempt. Well, second, I did one a few batches ago, and I did do the trick with propping it over, which was recommended. I don't know if it helped with the volume collection. I'm not sure. I got about 4.5 gallons. I'm not sure if it helped me get more wort. That was sort of the goal. I'm just gonna let it go with what I did. And so I also did not aerate more than I had the as I was siphoning it in, I had it kind of hanging here, so then it was, you know, falling in the air and sort of splashing in there a little bit. So I'm just going to go with that for the aeration. I pitched it. It's 66 right now. I'm going to bring it upstairs where it's about 70, and then it'll, you know, be warming up 70 in the mid-70s, and we'll see how it goes. It has been almost 6 months since I made this, and as you can see, it actually appears to have gone below 0. Maybe 0.997 or so. I've kept it as warm as I could all summer, but as you can see from the backyard, summer is over. And it's cooler in the house now, but lately, let's see if I can get a shot of this. Lately, it has developed a couple of these bubbles, and it also has a general scum look on the top. It is currently, oh, it has cooled down actually. For most of the time, it's been over 70 all summer, so it had warmer temperatures, but now it has cooled down to 64, 65, since that's what the house is at. Well, not the house, but that closet. So at any rate, I thought I would take a sample, and now it will be fun to see what it is tasting like. I think I don't remember if I have it on a video. I think I might have it on a video. I think early on I did a tasting, and it was basically tasting okay, but not very wild or funky or complex at that time. I started at 1043 and now it's below 0. Not throwing off crazy aroma or even much to notice. And it still is, it's nice enough. It has a little bit of mustiness, a little bit of a funkiness. But the fact that those bubbles have appeared, and I've seen a couple of them come and go over time. I think it's maybe a little bit more present right now, but I am not super inclined to package it, although it's going to be colder, so I don't know how much whatever stuff is in there that likes the warmer temperatures is going to be able to do. This will be a perfectly cromulent wild American wild ale if you were to package it and carbonate it as is. But I might also, you know, it's winter time, so I don't know. I'm inclined to just let it go for another little while, and I'll keep an eye on the top. Don't really have a warmer place to put it, so we'll see. It's definitely not bad. It's not as unique and crazy as it might have been, or as I thought it might be. It had warm temperatures since I made it in May, so, but these things can take a long time too, so I'll let it sit for a while, but so far it's nice enough. See what it changes into. So here we are, 2.5 years later, and we're gonna drink it. It should be carbon. You can pour a little head on there if you want. Now, there's a picture on my brew log of this beer, and it's very clear, but it also sat in the, I don't know if you can see it right here and now, but it sat, you know, for so long in the primary fermenter, and then it's been bottled for like over a year, so we'll give it a taste. So, now you know what this beer is, and you saw my tasting of it in, I did a tasting in the video clips, maybe like 5 or 6 months after I brewed it, or something like that.
Which I haven't seen.
You know, and it was down to like 0.997 or something like that, and I think it actually got to 0.996.
Wow.
From like, I forget their OG, it was like around 1040. So here we are. You've had this recently another time, and we talked about it. But what do you think? 2.5 years. Well, not quite May to September, but 2 years and 4 months.
The nose is a little funky, a little at the expense of our friend Barry Salem. Very horse blankety.
Musty.
Like mild horse blanket and musty.
So that's probably the Brett. So there's 2 strains of Brett, Saison yeast, and Lacto.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because you can taste even with all those other things in there, you can taste the Saison.
I agree.
Of it.
I actually just, now that I said that out loud, and I do agree that little spiciness.
And it's nice because none of those other things actually really overpower that. I mean,
well, it does
the
have...
lactose seems pretty low, but the Bretts are definitely there.
It does definitely have a Brett character. Thing with the Lacto, and I said this in the video, I was aiming for 1 IBU, I think, of bitterness. But some people make these beers when they're going to be using Lacto, 0 hops. I don't think I've ever made a no hop beer. I was a little cautious about doing so. I think I even expressed that in these video clips. So I did add some nominal amount of old hops. That fact combined with maybe not as warm as it could have been, or also maybe the gravity. The lower the gravity, the better for the development of Lacto, I believe. And so I was just trying to walk this line of making a beer that I thought I would want, but also being able to foster these developments. But yeah, the Lacto did not reproduce all that much. It does not really come through.
It's wild its final gravity is that low because it has a sweetness, and I wonder if that's from the Bretts. Like if Bretts do this kind of like fruity, sweet tarty kind of thing. Because to me, I would not have guessed it's that low. It's got a sweetness.
Yeah, you would guess under 10, but
for sure.
I mean, this should drink like a light
this is dry cider.
wine
this is
or
like,
something.
This is like cider, unback sweetened cider dry, theoretically. But it tastes way sweeter.
I mean, the Imperial people have been supplying us with yeast for at least 3 years now, probably more. And this was one that came across my path, and I thought, give it a try. I like making American wild ales. I mean, especially when you just got to dump a package of a blend and do some work.
And their then production manager, when we went there on a tour, Walker, told us kind of how to use this strain. So if Don would be kind enough to link that in the video description below, it might have nothing related to this, depending on your process. But there are some tips to using this in a video that he can link. And I can't even remember what they were, but I do, if I remember correctly, he said it's a better secondary strain than a primary. I may be totally
weird, but
tripping.
I mean maybe, but like I don't know why you'd have the Saison yeast then necessarily. But
interesting, yeah.
It is a okay beer. I've made a number of these.
Okay, beers?
Wildish.
Oh,
shut up, man! Jeez.
No, you have. You made
a lot of the wildish type ones that are like
we
with
talked
bread.
a little bit like sanctification, but that is like way drier, way more acidic.
It's different. Yeah. Like my version of that is a whole different thing. That's a whole other, Brett Hellis, and I've just made all these different things. But yeah, it was kind of fun to realize, I still have this beer around. It's old, and I never wrapped up that video series. I never really figured out how to do it. So what's going to hopefully happen is he's going to help me out with this fancy software, because I have cheap, free software, and it's legit free. It's not like I stole it. But he's just going to smoosh all the clips together, and we'll just throw it up on the YouTubes, and y'all can take a look.
Yeah, there's nothing better than finding an old beer than finding old video footage. It's really a trip. Sometimes you're like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
I thought this was lost to the ages.
Maybe it should be. Alright, catch you later. Thanks for watching.